be great at fogging.
Oh my god! We're back. I got my balls itched. Okay, what did you say? Oh yeah, she said she was about to go. Welcome everybody! Welcome back, it's your boy RM. I've watched Velma episode 7, and let's just say it was probably by far somehow the best episode. Now let me explain what made it the best episode. At least in my opinion. Because it's something they should have done from the start, even though it's kind of really stupid with some of the stupid things they have. But I'll get to that when we get to that. So let's start off with a quick summary of the show. So, watching Velma, it starts off with, okay, so they basically deemed the killer as a ghost because they thought Norville's mother, or I think Norville's mom's mom or grandmother, was a mad scientist, which we established in episode 6 with Operation Scooby. And so basically they think, well, technically there's not someone actually killing the kids. It's not a serial killer, but rather a ghost. Therefore, we should be okay, and we just want to have our fog fest because, you know, it's that time of year to have it, so I guess just have it. I guess, okay, sure, there's a killer on the loose, but it's like, yeah, we want to party, you know, and seeing how Americans are in 2020, I could understand. Good for the showrunners. Good for the showrunners. Cut that out, editor. So then basically afterwards, it goes on to there's the Fog King and Fog Queen, and the event is basically hosted by, you know, the Joneses family business. Basically, you know, Fred's parents, and they have the business, and so basically they're hosting this event. So basically, they want Fred to be Fog King, or they're going to basically not let him back in the house. You heard me right. They're not going to let him back into the house. So, you can roll this clip.
You can't win with Velma. So either you find a way to come home with that Fog King crown,
What the hell?
or do not come home at all.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh, bro. What? Oh my gosh, his parents suck, dude. I really hate his father. Like, there's like 2 points I agree with him on. Like, 1, he could do better than Velma. And 2, Velma's ruined him. However, I don't like the man because he's trying to buy an underage kid a stripper. In like, what was it, episode 6? And in this episode, he literally threatens to not get him back in the house. If he... Why is it so bad? Now you've seen the clip, let's just say yes. Now you can see what I mean by that. On how horrible parents Fred has. Not only because they're racist and sexist, but not to mention that Fred's father tried to buy him a prostitute. But we're talking about along the lines of how Fred is... it makes him more relatable because, like, gosh dang, like, his parents are just garbage tier, dude. Like, his parents are the worst. The worst of the worst. And I hate it. It's so much. It's garbage tier. When it comes to his parents. However, it makes Fred a very interesting character. It makes him more... It can make him more relatable in some ways, relatively compared to someone like Velma, where she's like an asshat to everyone, so it's like, okay, you can't really agree with her. However, I will say, this episode, Fred takes a lot of L's, it seems like, mainly because we have another person who wants to go for Fog King, which is basically Norville, because he was upset, he wants to gain Gigi's trust again, because he accidentally didn't answer his phone last episode, because he tried to be an alpha male, and it was to the point where Gigi got stung by a bee, almost died, Norville wasn't there, and then it was like, okay. Basically, it was to the point where it just didn't make any sense, and they were like, oh, crap. What do we do? And Norville was like, all right, we'll do that. Well, I'm going to try becoming king, and I'm going to make you queen, basically, because you deserve that crown, my queen. And basically, so, you know, it's like, okay, I like it because Norville is becoming a better character, because I like to see him kind of grow, which is kind of why this episode is the best, because there's actually legitimate growth in the characters. It may not be the most, but there is actually some growth, at least, relatively speaking, compared to the rest of the episodes previously to this one, which then moves me on to Fred, which I like Fred so much. So basically, Fred basically buys Velma. Yeah, Daphne. I mean, sorry. He buys Velma. Cut it out. So basically, Fred buys Daphne to basically go with him to be Fog Queen because Velma won't win it for him. Basically, his dad told him that. So, and I understand. Yeah, definitely do Daphne. So basically, he buys Daphne, which I don't know if you want to play the clip.
I know I've been MIA, but look. Ow! What the hell, Fred?
Go to Fogfest with me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is why Fred is the best. Just throws money in her face and then buys her out, basically. It is like, okay, yay, we did it! And it's very funny. Honestly, that's probably like the first time I kind of laughed, because I thought that was kind of just... It's either that or just the sheer amount of lack of sanity I have left, so it was very entertaining to watch. So it was very entertaining to watch such thing unfold. And I will say... I was gonna say though, besides that, they move on. Granted, Velma doesn't have a partner, and this is very important because in order to go to the Fog Fest, you have to have a partner, if you're a female at least, because remember, the killer only goes after females. So she has the bright idea to dress up like a man, which if you play the clip, it is horrendous. That one?
Girls can't go to Fogfest without a date, so our only hope of getting in is makeup. Next!
Oh,
Evening,
no.
officers. Yeah, go, girl. My name is...
Oh, I'm gonna fucking die. Go back. So yeah, basically, Velma becomes a Manny, basically becomes a guy, and this is all fun and games until it's like, okay. They basically said that life is a whole lot easier to be a man. Which, I'm gonna be real with you, you could think that, but I don't think so. As supposedly as one myself, I would tell you that, yeah, no, it's not that simplistic as you'd think it is. Even though, pissing in a urinal might be fairly simplistic. There's a few more things to life instead of that. But, she basically goes on, and basically, the whole episode starts to say, like, oh my god, it's easier to be a man, which kind of ruins the episode for me. Because it's like, oh my gosh, dressing up as a man, the girls are liking me. People are flocking to me. Basically, there's a part where Daphne is, like, just oozing over Manny. And I'm like,
The serial killer go.
Who is that tasty snack?
don't you think about it. No. Oh, she's just horny. Yeah, she just bricked up, dude. Basically, yeah, it's like, they do that, and it's like, yay! Okay, you're ruining the episode. They had something cool going on. And then it's like, okay, fine. So we'll play it. So then basically, you got to the point where, yeah, the killer was actually there, and Manny's trying to chase it around, and in turn, actually, Manny becomes Fog King. So basically, Fred can't go home anymore, and basically has to sleep in his limo, or something like that. Meanwhile, Norville tried to become Fog King, because actually Norville was going to be the one who was crowned Fog King, but then Manny took over, and then, of course, afterwards, they expose him. Actually, Fred exposes Manny to actually be Velma. However, that was after Velma, Daphne had a whole heartfelt moment where Daphne talked about, because she didn't know this was Velma, but she thought it was some guy. So she talks to him and basically says, yeah, I know, she keeps ignoring me, basically, like, that kind of thing. And so it's to the point where actually I can start to see a little bit of character growth, at least from Daphne, and at least a little bit actually from Velma, surprisingly, because she actually starts to feel a little bit of empathy, saying, oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. I need to be better. Because later on, they talk with each other. After being exposed, Velma gets exposed, they have a heartfelt chat underneath the pier, and it's like, yeah, okay, I understand. All right. And I'm like, character growth! Yes! We have character growth, people! It's the first on the board! It says character growth if you don't see it, which you shouldn't. But, But yeah, I'm so surprised. Character growth for once. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm so excited for an episode of Velma. I just am, and it's just... Oh, gosh dang. So, happy about that. And so, yeah, basically, then what happens is the killer comes around, goes after Velma and Daphne. So we get to see a better view of the killer. And then, afterwards, Fred chases Shaggy for the crown, because Shaggy's then deemed the Fog King. And then, I would say, yeah, after getting the crown, because Norville realizes that he doesn't need the crown. It made him kind of a monster, and he realizes that. Which, honestly, I like to see that growth from him, and it's great. And that's why I like Norville as a character. He's starting to become better to me. I don't mind Daphne's character, like I said. I don't mind Fred's character. I just find Velma's character insufferable. Like, these characters seem to actually be kind of growing, and this is what I liked about the episode, is they're growing. They're actually doing stuff. There's a mystery. There's the killer. They're just looking at it. It's utterly insane. It's like, oh, a mystery with a mystery. This feels like Scooby-Doo for once. Oh, man, dude. I'm like, great. And then at the end, Fred gets attacked by something, which we can assume might be the killer. And so it's like, yes, a cliffhanger. Something good for once. Oh, yes. Besides the full mansplaining, dressing up as a man to get in, I would have loved it if they didn't bash the message of, it's so much easier to be a man. Like, no, it's not. Some things might be easier, but some things are harder to do, okay? And so, yeah, that's kind of what ruins the whole show, but even then, it's like, I'm somewhat happy for once, actually. And I don't know why. I'm just happy. I don't know why. I actually feel good for once after watching a Velma episode, and I don't like it. It kind of feels uncanny. But at the same time, I'm semi-happy because I'm like, oh my god, this is actually not bad! So episode 1 is by far the best episode so far. Because it actually has a plot. It's chasing after the serial killer, which is achieving the plot. And, on top of that, it's fairly somewhat creative. Because, honestly, I didn't mind the policy saying that, if they try to make it sound sexist. And then forcing Velma to dress up as a man, and then basically say, yeah, that's sexist, dude, and living as a guy is easier. But, you know, if they got rid of that, that would have made the episode really good. And then there was actually some character growth. It wasn't perfect, but compared to what we're getting, it feels like we're having a flood right now. Just, oh my gosh, we've been in a drought for growth, and we finally get something. That's so exciting. It's so exciting, everyone. Even though I know it's going to get ruined by episode 8, and I still have yet to watch it, so my hopes are probably going to get crushed. Okay, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Everyone, like, subscribe, comment down below, and you know what? Put notifications, because I'll have episode 8 up soon. And everyone stay foxy, and I'm going to die. Bye.
I know I've been MIA, but look, ow!